Hey yo, what up my peeps? It's your homie Mr.G here, and today we're talking about one fly dog. Today we talking about Mr. Jersey Devil. Okay, I'm gonna drop this. I'm not even sure if that was a Jersey accent. I think that was more of a Philly accent. All these big city accents kind of sound the same anyway. I don't even know anymore. Let's just get to the video. Jersey Devil means devil from New Jersey. It was an individual. Like most cryptids, it is pretty morally neutral since I've never heard a story of it actively killing anyone. Comes from New Jersey, and it was a cryptid. The Jersey Devil is typically described as looking like the typical demon, with it being a humanoid with bat wings, goat-like features, and a pointy tail. As for its origins, it allegedly goes that one day, a woman named Jane Leeds was pregnant with her 13th child, and whether it was because of the fact that it was the 13th child, because his mother wished that her next child would be a demon out of frustration, or that his father was the devil himself, he was born as a horrific-looking monster that quickly escaped into the wilderness. For the next century or so, many people have reported seeing the monster. However, there haven't really been any sightings of the monster since 1909, when alleged footprints were discovered, before it turned out that those were fakes. Also during this time, the Philadelphia Zoo offered a $10,000 reward for the monster, which led a lot of hoax monsters being brought in, most of which were just real animals with devilish props put on them. Like kangaroos, those were a common one. They just tape bat wings to kangaroos and claim it was the monster. So, what is it? Well, for its origin, several people think that Jane Leeds is actually supposed to be Deborah Leeds, and her giving birth to a demon was a sort of propaganda due to how unpopular the family was due to their political views, and for being accused of paganistic behavior. A lot of experts also think that the Jersey Devil was more like a social boogeyman, rather than a real monster. Personally, if you ask me, this is one of the more unbelievable cryptids, since its origins are way too fantastical, and there's no real biological explanation for anything about it. You know, for some reason, Vincent seemed pretty upset when I told him what we were doing today. I don't think he wants to talk now, so let's just get to the card first. We'll get to him later. It's a flying goat. Yep, flying goat. What am I supposed to say here exactly? It looks fine, I guess. I can't really find anything wrong here, to be honest. So, I give this card a 10 out of 10 because, really, there's nothing wrong here, either design-wise or lore-wise. Now let's look at the Jersey Devil in pop culture. The Jersey Devil appears in Castlevania. There's a roller coaster named after it at Six Flags, I think. New Jersey's hockey team is named after the cryptid. And it was the subject of an episode of Lost Tapes. Okay, let's go check on Vincent and see if he finally wants to talk. If I'm being honest, this guy is one of the most saddest monsters I think I've ever encountered. Everything that you have been told is a lie. You see, he was actually born a pretty normal child. He was indeed a 13th one. Then one day, an evil witch broke into his house, and just because she felt like it, she transformed him into a horrific-looking monster. When his parents saw him, they flipped out and tossed him into the woods. Because of his mutations, he ended up growing a lot faster than most people. And when the townspeople saw him, they also thought he was a monster. They tried killing him, so he went deeper into the woods. But no matter how much he fled, people would always be on his case. They started calling him the Jersey Devil. Now, quite frankly, I don't even know what a devil is, but all the monsters in my world hate being called that word, and they're known to get pretty mad when you call them that. So, it's probably not something good. He prefers being called the Jersey Beast anyway. Anyway, back to the story. He decided that if people were going to treat him like a monster, then he would be a monster. So, he started terrorizing townspeople, scaring them, making them run from him, fighting back when they tried to hunt him. It obviously didn't work, it just drew more attention to him, and people wanted him dead even more. But, luckily, this story has a happy ending, I guess. In 1909, he discovered the Land of Myths, where he permanently stays to this day, never going back to the human world, And at least he's in a place where people actually respect him. Hearing stories like this kind of reminds me how much humans hate us. And I'm sorry, I can't continue. That's all for this episode of Monsters of the Mind, I guess. Join us next time when we talk about the most famous type of alien. Bye!